Well, thanks so much. I need to limit my introduction here because Joanne was with me for quite a few years as a student. She was on the soils team. She started out at Twin Lakes High School and got started in soil judging there and liked it, and so came and majored in agronomy at Purdue and decided that she'd like to do soil judging at the collegiate level. I mentioned to her that when she started, we had very few young women that were interested in soil judging. Now I have only 2 men on my team of 18. So actually I'm going to charge them for the opportunity to meet all those girls. I went to school at Purdue when it was 4-1, so I know all about I need to do that. Anyway, Joanne did very well. In fact, she was a national champion and so forth. Went on to do a master's degree at Purdue and got married and has 4 children, and now she's doing some farming. She was a registered soil scientist, or still is a registered soil scientist, but she's concentrating a bit more on farming, and she's going to talk to us about her farming operation and what I think of as sort of a new way to do old-time farming. So Joanne's going to talk to us about her Holy Cow farm. Open that up. Yeah, we need to open it there. There we go.
Well, thank you for having me today. It's a lot of fun. I didn't know what to expect, so I'm pleasantly pleased. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you about our farm. We call Holy Cow Farm Fresh. My husband and I, Paul, and our family. And we're in Monon, Indiana. And if you go on 43, turns to 421, if you know where the Whistle Stop restaurant is, we're the first place north of that. So we're really easy to find. At exactly 35 miles to the parking lot in Purdue, because I drove it many years. Oh, and there we are. There's my husband and I on the right. And our oldest son, Levi's 14. He's going to be a freshman this year. And our next son is Caleb. He's 12. Gracie is 8. And our youngest, Elizabeth, is 5. She's going to be in kindergarten. So I have freshmen in kindergarten. And this is who we are. We've been married for 18 years, married while I was at Purdue, during my soil judging years. And I graduated in agronomy. My husband's been a farmer. He didn't go to college. He worked really hard and helped send me to college. And I am a soil scientist. I've been on leave since October because I decided I really can't do it all. So I had to give somewhere. So although my checkbook gave a little bit, we are concentrating on our farm and it's in the family, and it's been wonderful. We are a homeschool family. I teach all the kids on top of farming and marketing, and so we stay really busy. And we trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. He owns it all anyway, so we gave it over to him, and he runs the show. There we are. This is at our farm. We were actually featured in some magazine. It was Northwest Indiana Business Magazine. It was kind of a cool thing, so there's our little cover shot. So our grandfathers were farmers. Both of his grandfathers and my grandfather were farmers, small farmers, but they earned their living doing that. And so we said, by golly, if they could, we can too. And so in 1994, we were high school sweethearts, and so we graduated in 95, but in 1994, Paul bought his first farm while we were still in high school. In 98, but it was really cheap. He only paid, I think it was $741 per acre. It was kind of a shoddy farm, but it was a good start. 101 acres, and we were farming. So, and some old borrowed stuff. We got great stories. So anyway, he bought our first farm. In 1998, we got married. We bought our very first cow. That was really exciting. And then the next year, she had a baby, so we had 2 cows. We doubled our cow production. It was awesome. And then in 2002, graduated from Purdue, and we actually stopped farming. so we started, which was hard work to get started, but we actually stopped. We had our first child, but kind of got distracted by other things. He started a trucking company, so we had 5 trucks on the road, and we should have gave on the trucks, but we gave on the farm. So we stopped for a little while, but we kept the farm ground. And then in 2007, we got tired of watching everybody else farm our ground, and we said, we need to do this again. So we started all over in 2007. So we started twice, which is always fun. And then 2012, we actually began Holy Cow Farm Fresh, because in the meantime, after our first cow, we kept cows, and we had some family that wanted some beef, and then we were raising our own food, and then had some friends wanted some food, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait a second, I think people might want this beef. So we actually became Holy Cow Farm Fresh, and we've named ourselves on the way to the sale barn one day. We were thinking about what we really wanted to do and how big, what our vision was for what we wanted to do. And we're talking with the kids, we're like, wow, we kept saying, holy cow, holy cow. So it became Holy Cow Farm Fresh. And we have 2 daughters, so if the farm passes through to them, that way it's not just Mosier Farms. So we thought Holy Cow's pretty catchy. And then this year, we're starting our on-farm store. We've been selling meat out of our garage now for several years, and that's been really successful. But this year, we're actually putting a store up, and hopefully it'll be done within a month. And then we have a corn maze this year, which is pretty neat. Huge corn maze. And there's kind of a picture of a cow and a calf. That's our multiplication right there. We were so excited when that happened, but that's not the original one, but she is a descendant of it. So, what we do, we raise meat. We do raise corn, soybeans, and wheat. We do non-GMO crops. We raise our own feeds. On top of raising the animals, we do the feeds, which is a lot of work. Lots of grinding, lots of baling, a lot of everything. We don't use antibiotics. We don't use hormones. Everything's out in the fresh air, in the sunshine. And we believe that happy, healthy animals make the healthiest and the best tasting meat. We get lots of compliments on how good our meat tastes, like it should, like it used to. So anyway, and we do grass-fed beef and we do grain-finished beef. We have 2 separate herds. We have pastured chicken, pastured pork, free-range turkeys, and free-range eggs. And there's our cool logo. Yeah, happy cow. We actually, one thing that's special about our farm is that we deliver. We do the farmers markets, yes, in Lafayette, West Lafayette, and Monticello, but we also do neighborhood deliveries every month in West Lafayette, Zionsville, Brookston, Monticello, Valparaiso, and a couple other spots here or there. And we do home deliveries. So if you're busy, you set your cooler out, and voila, when you get home, you have a delivery. And that works really well. People are busy. And we do farm, they can pick up at the farm. So I'm just going to kind of lead you through, and so you'll have to stop me if I get too windy, because I could talk to you all day about what we do. But I'll kind of guide you through our different things. These are some of our little beef calves. It's just a cute little picture of them. We have, they're crossbred. We have heavy on the Angus Limousine, but we have different genetics and stuff, but they work really well for us. There's some of the mamas and the babies. It's always pretty to look at. There's more mamas and babies. Can't have enough cows grazing. And this is actually our second set of twins we ever had on the farm, the 2 babies. And I wondered I knew she was so big, I thought she was going to have twins, and by golly, she did. So, and she actually had them when we had a customer there picking up meat. It was really neat. So, yeah. And there's more. See, we farm in the winter too, all year long. So they eat hay. And there's our original set of twins, actually. So the girls, they're mamas now. And some more beautiful cows. And this is my son, Levi. He really loves the pigs. And he has an interest in having his own sow operation. And he could tell you all his big plans. And each year he does something new. He's had a few sows now, and this was actually his 3rd sow. And those are some of the babies. He will stay up this is his thing. I mean, we guide him, but he is totally in charge of this. And this is some of his little piglets. He stayed up all night with her and helped pull some piglets, and it's just great. So he's pretty proud, little papa there. So, and they're so cute. I knew if there was women in the group, I'd get the because it's so precious. They are so cute. And there they are when they get bigger. It's not as but and a rooster jumps in there, of course. Yeah. And there's pigs out grazing. The pigs do eat grass, and they're funny. If you ever listen to them, you can hear them just chomp and chomp, 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 chomp. You just stop and listen. They're funny. They do tear up grass too. And there's pigs in the winter. They're all snug in there in the sunshine. So we do have shelters. I mean, we raise everything out. Everything's in the fresh air, but we do have shelters to protect from heat, sun, cold. So, and there's all kinds of, there's sows in there, there's feeder pigs, there's all kinds of things. And there's a chicken, and if you look carefully there to the right. Yeah. So, and there is, we also do the egg production and in the chicken production. That's Elizabeth. She likes chickens. Let's see. Yep. And there's one of our baby chicks. We keep them in the brooder house, keep them safe for a little while, and then they grow, and they go everywhere. Our chickens are very free range. They're as free range as a chicken can be. They're everywhere. See, they're on my porch. They're everywhere, and they'll peck on the glass, and you go to the door, see who's there. It's a chicken. So, and there they are, getting ready to cross the driveway. They're everywhere. And this is our eggmobile. This was a new addition last year. It is a mobile egg house. They have their roost in there. They'll go in there at night. There's a door that closes and opens with the daylight. And it has they lay their eggs in there, and on the floor of it, which you'll see in a minute, it is all chicken wire, so when they poo, it goes down, so we don't have anything to clean. But we pull it all around the farm, so they fertilize as they go. It's the old way we used to do things, but we found a new way to do it, I guess. So we fertilize as we go. Yeah, and you can see them. There's chickens everywhere, and there's cows back there too. And there's the inside. They have their perches and roosts, and there's grass under there. And then we travel with the water tank along with them so they can have plenty to drink. It's a big chore. And there's one of our other mobile chicken houses. Some of our chickens, we didn't have enough room in the eggmobile, so we had set some up in here. So, and there they are. It was a cold day that day, and nobody wanted to get outside. So I went in and took a picture of them, and they're kind of funny. So there's some different breeds. The ISA Browns are most of the ones in the bottom. There's Buff Orpingtons, and there's all kinds of them. Rhode Island Reds. And up above, those funky-looking things that look like eagles are Americanas. They look like a greenish, bluish egg. Really yummy. Yeah, I think of everything as food. And then this is the eggmobile in the winter. Nobody wanted to come outside. There they come. So, and then we wash all the eggs. We wash all of them by hand, or we have a little 1950s egg washing thing, which is temperamental. But anyway, the kids do this stuff. Nobody likes washing eggs. I'll be honest, it's not a fun job. So we have to make it fun. And this is these are some of our meat birds, for the pastured poultry. We pasture the poultry. We put them in these huts, and we move them around in these chicken tractors. So they have fresh grass and bugs every day. A little bit of garden produce we threw in there. We supplement them with non-GMO feed, and they just kind of get fat and lazy and move around and eat things. So. And there's an example of how we move them every day. You can see where they've been and how we pull that big old thing around. So, but we keep them in there, though, for their protection, because the meat birds are really dumb. If you don't protect them, if a hawk or anything, they won't run. They would just all die if you let them all loose. So we have to protect them, but yet still let them be outside. So, and there's our new chicken tractors there on the bottom right. So they're kind of flatter, easier to move. And there's Gracie with a turkey. That's a baby turkey. Funny little creatures. I think turkeys are probably my favorite. They make the funnest sounds. They're amazing. I didn't know I liked turkeys, but I guess I do. And so they're free range. They're everywhere. They're under the shade tree. They're on my porch too. They're fighting over a bug right there. Yeah, they're fun. And then we integrate a lot of our animals. Here's the pasture. We have pigs and cows, and so we'll have chickens, and we kind of intermix, and depends. We rotate things, and the species get along usually pretty good. The chickens like to follow the cows and jump on top of them, eat bugs off their back, and they get along pretty well together. It's kind of a natural way of farming. So there's the chickens with the cows, and there's Caleb. He's my little farm boy. He drives tractors like nobody's business. He's only 12 in this picture, but he's been driving now for at least since he was 7. So we start him early. We need help. but yeah, he's my driver. I take him to the poultry. We do some poultry on farm. This year we didn't have time, and so I take him to the poultry place with me. We get up at 4, go there, and we're there at 7. And I take him with me so that he can back the trailer for me. So I get out, and the Amish guy says, "Oh, he's good." So there's some of our wheat. There's the girls on top of baling our straw. And we do raise non-GMO soybeans. Right now we've been picking up non-GMO soybean meal. We drive down to Rose Acres down in southern Indiana. But we're raising non-GMO soybeans this year, and we're going to roast them and store them in the bin roasted, and that'll save us so much time. And it's supposed to be much, much healthier option for the animals. So we're really excited about that this year. And we do use a lot of cover crops. There's the plane flying in cover crops into the standing corn back there. The kids are all excited about the plane. So we usually do a lot of rye. We do different clovers. We do lots of different cover crops because we do a lot of grazing and a lot of fencing. Lots of fencing. If you want to learn how to fence, come on out. And here's the harvest of what we do. These are some country ribs, the pork country ribs. Oh, this is one of our favorites. I think I like them better than pork chops. And some are homemade. There's a 1-pound burger right there. Yeah, grass-fed burger. Oh, yeah. And then the chicken leg. Yum. And we have a lot of double yolkers. Our free-range chickens raise a lot of double yolkers. They're kind of fun. So, and there's our new store. It's not big. It's not what we really want, but it's kind of close to the budget. So it's 14 by 32, and we're going to put a bunch of freezers in her. So it's really cute. You can see it. It's right at the highway. And there's our freezer going in. It's really heavy. We had to have a crane. There's the inside. We've been working hard. It's not done yet, but we're getting closer. And this is our corn maze. I don't have an aerial picture of it yet because we got a little more work to do, but I plotted this out this winter, and it's all on graph paper. Every line going up and down and sideways is a row. We planted it east and west and north and south. And then we were out there with flags and gridded it out, and I had kids with hoes, and we just had a great old time. We cut that thing, and it's going to be fantastic. It's 7.5 acres total. The little maze is about an acre. The 2016 is a tiny maze for there on the right, and then the big maze for those adventurous is 6.5 acres. So we got to get on advertising that. So if you want something to do this fall with grandkids, north to the corn maze. And there we are planting it. It's odd to plant both ways, and then it's odd to go through and hoe out all your corn too. That's really weird. So completely unnatural. And there's the beginning of the maze. There's Ellie in the maze. Yay. And there we are at a farmer's market, West Lafayette. We do the farmer's markets. Wednesday, West Lafayette. Saturday, Lafayette. That stays pretty busy. Farmer's markets are a lot of work. And then we have a great lady from West Lafayette who comes and takes pictures of our animals every month. Or she tries to come out every month and every season. And she did this chicken fractal picture for me. So she's going to paint something for me. We'll put up in the store, but kind of fun. Why not? And that's the end. We don't like roosters. I can't stand roosters. They get mean. Every rooster we've had gotten mean. So they all become chicken noodles. So I have no tolerance for mean things. So he's chicken noodles. So anyway, So, yeah, if you have any questions, actually I have a question for you. How many, do any of you use, for any of your meats and produce, do you actually go to local farmers or utilize local farmers for your food? Yeah, I know Kathy does because she's my customer, and I know Don does because he's been to the farmer's market with me. Yeah, it's a busy thing. I know it's probably easier to go to the market and just pull everything and throw it in your basket. But there are a lot of new small farms out here trying to make good, healthy alternative to your food. And it not only is it better for you, but it tastes better. You ought to try this stuff. Not necessarily just our farm, although you're more than welcome to try our farm. But find a local farmer and and support them. It makes a big difference. We love loyal customers. That's the reason. I mean, believe me, I'm not doing it for the money because if you saw what I drove here, you would not be impressed. I made more money doing the oil test. But it's a good thing for our family to do too. But it's the customers. The customers it's great to be a part of somebody else's family and know that you're giving them good food, and it's a very rewarding career, very rewarding. So, do you have questions for me? Did I talk too much? Do I need to talk more? I'll talk more. Okay, yes.
How many total acres is your operation, and how many cattle do you have at the max before you start the slaughter operation?
Sure. We have ourselves, we own 173 acres. We also rent another 40-some in pasture. We have a lot of great neighbors who lend us their pasture for almost nothing, which is fantastic. We also raise the corn and beans and stuff. We do cash rent on that, and so overall, it's about 450 acres that we manage, but we own 173. So we are small farmers, yes. Yeah.
Do you count your kids at night to make sure none are lost in the corn maze?
Occasionally, yeah. I have a habit of counting kids wherever I go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, it's just habit. But the beef. We have right now. I'm thinking it's almost 25 beef cows, because we do cow-calf also. We raise our own calves. We have to buy a lot of extra. We don't have enough. We aren't raising enough. Cows are expensive. We have to pace ourselves and grow our own herd. Our calves, though, that we raise on the farm fill out better. They're very impressive. And so we're trying to grow our herd to cover all that need. But we harvested, let me see, we did 15 grass-fed this year, and it'd be 22 grain finished. So quite in the not quite 40 this year, which is a big increase from our one. And we did actually, I think we're on track to doing about 135 pigs this year. And chickens, we did too many to harvest them all on the farm this year. We had, I think it was, we're probably around 2,700 chickens this year. And for meat, and we have about 400 layers. And turkeys, I think we're a couple hundred. Yeah.
What's the difference between the grass-fed and the grain-fed beef?
That is, on our farm, our grass-fed only gets grass and hay when the grass is not available. Our grain-finished, we do the same thing. We're kind of different. We don't do a feedlot mentality. They still have pasture. They still have hay, same thing. But we give them a unlimited buffet of non-GMO corn there in their last so many months that we raise. They distinctly taste different. The grass-fed is supposed to have more omega-3 fatty acids. It's supposed to be better for you, a little less fatty, I guess. But they're both fantastic. We did a taste test the other day, because we can do this, of a T-bone steak, one versus the other, and they're both so good. I thought maybe the grass-fed would be a little, side by side, I thought it would be maybe a little tough or something, but it wasn't. They're different as far as the texture. You can see the fat in the non-GMO. A lot of your steak connoisseurs love the grain finish, though. They like that special marbling and stuff. The grass-fed's leaner. It's supposed to be better for you. Takes a little longer to raise, more area to raise them, but I don't know.
What's the difference in price?
Oh, yes. Well, to compare burger to burger, a pound of grain-finished beef, non-GMO grain-finished beef is $6.85 a pound. Grass-fed is $8.30. It's 20% more. Yes.
I wanted to encourage everyone to at least get on their website and
Oh,
get
yeah.
their newsletter, because first of all, it's very good writing. Hey, and that's from Kathy York.
Thanks.
It's fun, it's interesting, it is so easy to order from these folks, and they deliver right to my door. But the biggest question I had when I decided to go with them, but how's it packaged? Is it just like it is at the store? You know, when you go and get the frozen stuff, it's all packaged, the shrink, whatever, it's not shrink, but you know what I mean.
Vacuum packed. Yep.
Labeled exactly like it needs to be, and we're not big meat eaters because we got so tired of meat didn't taste like it did when we were kids. Well, it does now. We're still not big meat eaters, but what we get from these guys, and they deliver right to our door.
Yeah, we do have a website. It's I have cards and stuff. I brought cards if you're interested in taking a card. It's www.holycowfarmfresh.com. And our website is awesome because you can order, you can see exactly what we have, you can order online, and it's supposed to be pretty easy. I had nothing to do with that. We have a guy that helps me with that. Yes, and our website has kind of set us above making ordering easy. I will have people order and I had no clue who they were. And so it's always a fun surprise, yeah. But yes, and everything is, we sell frozen. We are going to do some fresh stuff with our store, though. We'll have that opportunity available. Yeah.
Do you hire any employees to help you with the farm?
We really should, because it's been tight. It's been so tight since I haven't been doing any outside soil work. And so we really need to, or something. And so we have, it's been my husband and I and our 4 kids. And my kids are workers. Oh, they are so good workers. I mean, they're amazing. And so it's just been us. We've had a few neighbors stop by and help. We've been blessed with a lot of great neighbors that when we have a building project or something, that there they are. But we have been discussing and really praying about it that we're going to have to take on a full-time helper, and so we can take a break every now and then too. Very need that. So, yes.
Are you large enough to fall under all those labeling rules that have come out now?
What?
Well, like you have to say that they are pasture-fed eggs, and are there not pasture-fed eggs and that sort of thing with your beef? That there are no hormones?
No, we have, no, not yet. We haven't, we try to stay as least amount of government regulation as physically possible. Our labels are just really simple because we have our little egg permit because we do the farmers markets. But we sell, all of our stuff is sold, except for the farmers markets, is sold on the farm. Everything is ordered on the farm. And so we get by with not a lot of labeling. We have a processor that does our beef and pork, and they do all it's all state inspected. So if you're worried about your meat, it's all state. I don't butcher the cow for you. I can though, I've done it before. And so on our grass fed, we have like a little green label that the butcher pops on there for us to signify the difference. We don't have anything, not yet, but there are some labeling things when we were doing our chicken labels when we did it on the farm that we had to kind of make sure we had about exemptions and stuff. But no, we're not too regulated yet. We let our customers regulate us. If our customers aren't happy about something, they don't buy or they say so. So far that's worked pretty good. And we have our farm open. Anybody wants to come see what we're feeding, what we're doing, doors are open. You guys be my critics. You guys be my regulators. Yes.
So is all the meat frozen? Like if we come up there to the farm, is it frozen?
Yes, our meat is frozen because at the farmer's market is a requirement. We cannot sell fresh meat at the farmer's market. And at this point for us to store and keep and stuff, frozen is a lot easier. Once we get our store rolling, I'm going to be able to pick up some fresh meat from the processor and have it in a showcase for a couple days before we freeze it. So we are going to start working towards that. It's just we're not there today.
Question.
Yes.
Where are your chickens processed?
Well, this year we took them, processing is a big issue for small farms. It's very expensive, number one. And number two, it's hard to find a place. We take our chickens, it has to be, because of the farmer's market, it has to be a state inspected or USDA inspected facility. We take them to J&M Poultry Farm, and it is in Cambridge City, over by Richmond, Indiana.
Holy cow.
Yeah, holy cow, I agree. Last year, you can only do 1,000 poultry on your farm. And last year we did 750. But since we increased our production this year, we legally couldn't do that. 1,001 chicken would be illegal. So we couldn't do them all this year. That and we're busy growing. So, but they did the chicken farm. We tried another one in Illinois, didn't like it. It was the one, they did just as good of a job as we did. It was really depressing when we had to pay a processor that didn't even do as good of a job as I did. And I'm not like great or anything, but my kids love processing chickens. It's kind of, yeah, I agree. Why? I don't know. But they have contests, and it's just great times. So they're sad that we weren't processing this year.
Question.
Yes.
Which one of your kids is the head chopper on the chickens?
That would be Caleb, the tractor driver.
Okay.
Yes, he is the head chopper. And Levi is the eviscerator. He is good. Beware. Strange talents. So, even the girls help. I mean, we work these kids. So.
Well, thank you very much, Joanne. I certainly appreciate getting the word on modern farming. That's not quite so modern, but that's good. Now, in order to keep up with your schedule, we've got a Kiwanis organizer for you. So just what you need to keep all those kids straight. Yeah, you followed in the footsteps of my neighbor. My neighbor was the farm manager of the year in Michigan, and he had the presence of mind to have 4 boys. And boy, he knew where they were all the time, too. All righty. Well, great. Well, thanks so much. Next week, you think that Gene Stratton Porter was killed in a streetcar accident in Los Angeles, 1924, don't you? Well, yeah, sort of. But she's going to be recreated next week, and we're going to get a visit from Gene Stratton Porter, the famous Hoosier naturalist, a little celebration of the bicentennial. She'll have her outfit on and look